right,
Is it starting?
we've started the recording.
Okay, hang on. I should move closer.
Suddenly, I'm very aware of how squeaky my chair is.
It's a nice chair, isn't it?
I got it for my birthday. It was a gift.
It's a nice gift. It's a kingly gift.
Well, yes, it is.
Only one of our listeners will understand that reference.
And it isn't me.
No, because you're not a listener.
Also, I didn't get the reference.
Yeah. Well, that's your fault. Welcome back, everybody. We took a winter and fall hiatus.
Like the depression and self-doubt that comes from deep-rooted childhood memories.
Yeah.
We're gone, but we never really left.
That was a little heavy, but an accurate description of how this podcast is going to go today. It's going to be sad.
Are you bringing something tragic to the episode?
Probably, in some weird way.
Oh.
I think I'll talk about something that I never talked about, maybe.
Really?
I probably won't do that. That sounds a little too... That sounds like we should save it for the childhood trauma pod. Because I could fill that one up.
Are we going to do an episode on childhood trauma?
Well, you never know. Like, we got to fill the hours somehow.
Well, first off, before we really get going...
Right.
I was at the movies this afternoon.
Okay.
I went to see, as you already know, because
Yeah.
I told you prior to this recording,
Yeah.
I went to see The Invisible Man
Right.
with Elizabeth Moss.
Right.
And there was a scene in it where Elizabeth Moss was in the laboratory
Yeah.
of her abusive former lover.
What was her abusive former lover's job that he had at a laboratory?
He was a visionary in optics, I think is how it was described.
So he was an optometrist?
No, he was some kind of, camera scientist.
That doesn't sound like it's a thing.
Well, get on board with the universe of this movie where camera scientists exist. Because this guy was a visionary in optics.
Okay, so what happened after...
So she goes in his lab and there's this big, containment area with a passcode.
Right.
And it's got a stand in it, but she can't see what's in the stand. It's like there's nothing there. So she guesses the passcode.
What was it?
It was the day that she and the former lover met.
That seems improbable. He probably had this...
Well, he's obsessed... In the movie, he's very obsessed with her. So.
Yeah, but he probably had this room before he met her. You think he's going to reset the password?
Yeah, because his character is a visionary in optics.
Well, he didn't have the vision to prevent his own death. I don't know if he died.
You don't even see the movie, so you don't know that. But anyway, she opens it up and she goes in and she's looking at the stand and she's like, "What is this? Is this a podcast?"
Oh my god. Oh, that was good. That was really good.
Welcome. Some things change and some things stay the same.
Oh, that was really good.
But we are changing everything.
Yeah, everything's different now because we didn't like it.
Yeah, we're abandoning the rigid confines of the thematic episode structure that constricted our free will and creativity.
Yeah.
Much like Elizabeth Moss's abusive former lover, a visionary in optics.
I'm sure you could tell from the first few episodes that we were holding back.
And now we've become
loose and colorful.
Loose and colorful.
Yeah. I'm still going to hold back.
Well, I'm going to embrace my looseness and my colorfulness to the utmost degree.
I embraced my looseness at a young age, but no one reciprocated, so it was for naught.
So what did that look like?
That's not something we need to describe, especially considering mostly family members listen to this.
Okay. I'm a little skeptical, to be honest.
About what?
About you embracing your looseness.
I don't think you understand what looseness means. In the context
I think we're thinking of two different, equally sexual definitions.
Yeah, we're thinking of different things.
Looseness.
This is what happens when we don't have the rigid conformity of a subject.
It's chaos.
It's madness.
Yeah, so we're just going to start doing episodes about whatever we want to do episodes about.
Yeah.
And some of them might be more like sketches or skits, if you prefer the term.
Yeah, because I'm a very good improver.
Are you?
I'm a very gifted improver.
Did you take drama in high school?
No, it was an available arts credit because you had to take art credit to graduate, but I was far too shy to be artful.
Which art?
Guitar. I took guitar class. class.
Oh, really?
I could already play guitar, so I didn't really have to do it.
So you just coasted right through, eh?
Yeah, the problem was the first year you had to read music, and I couldn't read music.
You just walked in like, what's up? It's Eddie Van Halen. It's the Eddie Van Halen of Thunder Bay.
So I just memorized the exam piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then...
When I took guitar class in junior high school, everybody pretty much spent the whole class doing nothing.
Yeah, I remember that was... there was a lot of nothing. One time we watched Harry Potter, I think.
You watched Harry Potter?
We watched something with the Warner Brothers.
What kind of Buck Wild?
No, it was Crossroads, the Eric Clapton DVD.
That's better.
It's a little different.
Better for a guitar class.
Yeah, but I remember we watched this segment where there's this bass player, and I thought, we're never going to learn how to play bass. This is guitar class.
You didn't slap at the bass?
Well,
is that problematic?
Slapping bass?
The way that I said that.
Problematic for who?
I don't know.
I don't think any people who have strong...
Slap the bass!
Like, if we gain the listenership where that is an offensive thing, we have made it.
Excellent. Our goal is to be controversial.
If we can like make the news once.
Last time an episode came out, which I think was November of last year, I believe our listenership was around 10.
Okay. So we need to at least double that.
What do you think the number is that we have to hit before someone gets offended?
11?
At 11, someone's going to get offended?
I bet you someone is offended just regularly of the things we say, but they just don't care to tell us because we're not going to listen. This is good right here.
It's a good silence.
Yeah.
That's possible.
So I watched... I'm pivoting because we're not going to offend people even if we try.
I think we can offend people.
Yeah, we can offend people pretty easily. I watched The Matrix recently.
Okay.
Because we, as some of the listeners might know, we went to go see The Animatrix.
I would say our core listener group probably knows that.
Our core listener?
Our core listener. Well, there's 2 core listeners.
There's one Catherine?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think it's Catherine.
Well, maybe she's listening.
I think she's listened to a couple.
She's listened to more than I have.
I don't listen to these.
I live them.
What am I, some kind of narcissist?
Huh?
Some kind of narcissist sociopath? A visionary in optics? Who designs a suit made of cameras that can turn himself invisible?
Okay. Is that what he does?
Yeah.
A dumb movie.
It was a B- movie.
B- is higher than I expected for a movie with that dumb premise.
The pacing was pretty good, and the soundtrack was quite good.
I mean, the pacing. Like, it moved fast?
Like, the pacing of the horror movie was good.
I don't like horror movies.
It didn't spend too much time, wasting my time at the beginning with non-horror related.
Oh, there wasn't a lot of setup. He just dies after abusing her with his visionary optics.
Well, he dies twice in the movie. Spoiler alert.
You don't say the spoiler alert after you spoil it.
It's chaos!
If any of you wanted to go see The Invisible Man, he dies twice.
If any of you wanted to go see The Invisible Man, go in knowing that Elizabeth Moss is a Scientologist.
Yeah.
And consider it from the perspective of her attempting to escape the cult of Scientology.
Oh. You think that's what it's about?
Could have been. I doubt it because I don't think she's a reluctant Scientologist. But I don't really know enough about Elizabeth Moss to make any kind of statement.
I don't know anything about Scientology except for that King of Queens lady doesn't like it. Leah Remini.
And Tom Cruise is pretty pro.
Well, as far as if you were comparing it to other religions, he's probably Jesus.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
I thought Elrond was Jesus.
Elrond's just the writer who wrote the Bible.
That would make him one of the prophets then or something, right?
Yeah, he's a prophet.
Who wrote the Bible?
The gospel guys. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then all the other ones that they didn't publish.
Yeah, didn't a bunch of people submit stuff?
Yeah, there was an open call for Bible submissions.
Yeah.
Like, hey, tell us what you thought about Jesus.
Like when you're a struggling writer and you go onto an anthology website to find people making anthologies so you can submit something to. So you have something published.
That's super specific.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah. So we saw The Animatrix.
You really went on a tangent.
Yeah. I think today's a tangent pod.
Well, I think the real theme is loose and colorful.
Actually, we should do the pod and let the guests guess the theme. Or the listeners, rather.
Yeah, like every episode's gonna have something like unique and different, and it's really gonna depend. And it's really gonna depend on them to figure it out. Sometimes it will be more obvious,
and sometimes it will be very subtle, like the G in lasagna,
or the subtle squeaking of a computer desk chair.
Yeah,
as it slowly moves further and further away.
So the Animatrix I thought was only okay, but not as bad as you and the other person thought.
You can name him.
No, I can't.
Oh.
I don't want to make other people feel left out. Like everyone we didn't invite.
That's true.
Which is the rest of the people listening.
Yeah.
So, tough break, all you listeners. Oh. And then I watched The Matrix the next day. It was really good.
I don't think The Matrix is that good.
It's really good.
I think it's as good as The Invisible Man.
It's a B- movie?
Actually, I think it's a B movie.
It's more entertaining than I remembered. Mm. It's not very... For a 2.5-hour movie, it's pretty entertaining.
I like the part where Agent Smith reveals that he was the Matrix the whole time.
Yeah, I like because they were all inside him.
Right.
And he birthed everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the father of humanity.
Yeah, and I like that. Like, I was upset that part of the Bible was omitted.
Mm-hmm.
Where they took out the Mr. Smith from the Bible. Because I liked that passage a lot when I was growing up.
Well, yeah, it's a good thing that the Wachowski sisters are such good scholars of religious texts. Because they were able to recover the omitted Smith sections. The
much forgotten Smiths of Jerusalem.
The Mr. Smith of ancient Bethlehem.
It's like the Mr. Smith goes to Washington, but instead of Washington, he goes to Jerusalem.
What's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
I think it's a movie. So I was reading the IMDb trivia. 3 times in the first Matrix movie trivia on IMDb, it said, Neo is an anagram for 1. Yeah. There's only 3 letters.
What?
Yeah. You didn't know?
No, never this whole time.
Yeah. O-N-E.
Oh my god, and he's the one!
He's the one, but then he wasn't the one. And then he was the one.
I like the part where he finds out that he was the one and gets Matrix powers and turns his hands into elephants. Yeah,
that was an interesting move. That movie would be so good.
You know when his hands just turn into 2 stampeding elephants?
I would watch that movie every day, forever. I didn't like the... I got confused when Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson showed up. And they just started going from, like, wedding to wedding.
Well, you can't have a wedding scene in a movie without, Vinny V and OW showing up.
But then they ended up at Google for some strange reason. And then for some reason, Vince Vaughn was a newscaster.
Don't you remember that part of the Animatrix where it turns out that the Matrix was Google the whole time?
You think Google would make that movie as like a cross promotion?
A Matrix Google crossover?
Yeah.
I think they'd do that.
I would do that. I would watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch it for sure.
It's gonna get more difficult.
Is it like what are the waveforms look like right now?
Your waves are still bigger than my waves.
Oh, really?
Well, now it's kind of... But you say something now.
I like that part of The Matrix where we find out that Trinity is actually 3 children inside of a trench coat.
Yeah, it's pretty good size waves. I like the part especially where in the middle of their fight scene, they stumble upon like a picnic and they start making balloon animals for the children, Neo and Mr. Smith. They make balloon animals.
Yeah.
But then Neo makes one into a gun, pops him right in the face.
I think that's the most symbolic part. So metaphorical.
Nice. I think your cat was worse than I remember.
I offered you
an allergy pill?
An allergy pill.
Yeah, but I didn't think I needed it. I thought it was tougher than allergies.
I don't think there's any water down here.
Did you ever see that? There's that Twitter thing. So people think they're too tough for sunscreen. It's like, what, you think you're tougher than the sun?
Yeah. You don't think you could fight the sun?
What do you think would win? The sun or 1 trillion lions?
I don't know, man. Probably the sun.
Probably the sun.
I don't think a trillion lions could do anything to the sun.
Plus, they couldn't survive in space.
Well, what if... Yeah.
What was that reference I made at the start?
At the start of the podcast?
I made a reference to something one person's going to get it. I can't even remember it.
You said something about a king. Yeah.
Alright. So what else is new since we've done the last pod?
Well,
Nothing.
I don't know.
There's that virus killing everybody.
There's that Wuhan. Don't get that Wuhan.
So it's also COVID.
Well, it's called COVID-19, I think.
Yeah. What do you think? Is it going to do anything?
Apparently, it's kind of like a regular flu in terms of whether or not it's serious for you.
Yeah, but the regular flu kills 0.1% of people.
Yeah.
This kills 2%.
Is that true?
That's what the Google told me.
Because apparently, like all the deaths, or most of the deaths, have been like people who are elderly and like immunocompromised or pre-existing respiratory problems.
So you're in trouble.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But isn't that like, if we're looking at population control, it's a pretty good thing.
Well, I think that's a pretty grim outlook, but...
I'm trying to find someone that agrees with me.
Ow!
Yeah.
Ignore that.
That's the Wuhan.
I got the Wuhan from the ceiling.
Yeah, and another issue with it is that work is talking about cancelling all my travel.
Oh, really?
Which includes I'm going to a conference in the spring. And the keynote speaker at this conference about recruitment is none other than leading recruitment expert, Matthew McConaughey.
No way, really?
Yeah, he's the keynote.
Is that the one in Austin?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty alright.
What if he just comes on like, time is a flat circle?
I hope he's in character as Rusty from True Detective.
That would be it. But before the final episode, before his, Yeah,
all detective shit.
Yeah.
All broken detective.
Oh, ethereal, ephemeral, depressed detective shit.
If they open it up to questions, I'm going to ask him if he sleeps.
I don't sleep, I only dream.
That show was so sneaky hilarious.
That's what, whenever somebody asks me why I have those hats on the wall now,
right.
I always go, it's a form of meditation.
Is it a form of meditation?
Well, that's what he says who's the other guy in it?
Woody Harrelson.
When Woody Harrelson asks him, why he has a cross on his wall. That's what he says.
Yeah.
That it's a form of meditation.
What was I going to say? I forget. Oh, yeah. Do you meditate?
No, I can't. No.
No?
I can't meditate.
What makes you so fearful of meditation?
I've tried it before, and I just got too many thoughts in my brain.
So, what do you mean? Wait, what?
Well, the whole point of it is to think about nothing, right? That's what you're trying to do when you meditate.
Is it really? That seems impossible.
Well, then, now you know why I laughed. I can't meditate.
I can think about nothing, but then all I think about is fake arguments.
They say if you're good at it, you can have an out-of-body experience.
Why don't you just do drugs?
Well, that's a good question. Probably a quicker road to an out-of-body experience.
Probably a lot quicker, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to do an episode this way.
It's it's interesting to not have a theme.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of subjects to talk about, except for movies and TV shows.
Right.
Or books that I've read. I've read a few books this year.
Well, how many books have you read?
3.
Okay. Well, were they good?
Not really. Well, I've read 4.
Well, I'm on 6, so get on my level.
I'm reading those Game of Thrones books. They're like 4,000 pages.
Yeah, well, I'm reading 100-page books.
I'm just waiting for
That's the way you pad those numbers.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump up those numbers. I'm just waiting for the Red Wedding because I can't wait for the annoying characters to just die.
Do you already know which characters die?
Yeah, I've watched the show.
But I thought the show's not the same as the books.
Well, hopefully the annoying ones all die.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, because it's a struggle for me.
Do you think he made them annoying on purpose because he knew that he was going to kill them?
Oh, I don't think anyone else thinks these characters are annoying.
Oh, only you think they're annoying?
They're very noble, honorable characters. And I wish they would all just die.
Why do you find those traits annoying?
Because I want to read about the scoundrels
Yeah, but you gotta have some good guys.
Yeah, you need the good guys so they're fodder for the bad guys' arrows.
Oh my goodness. So if you were playing like D&D, would you play a bad guy then?
No, when I play D&D, I'm Legolas 2.
Are you Legolas 2 Electric Boogaloo?
No, I'm Legolas 2, even better than you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, thank you.
How do you spell it?
Legolas, number 2, better than capital U.
Is better than one word?
Yep. You gotta pump up the volume, I think.
Oh yeah? Is it looking pretty quiet?
It's looking like you're, for some reason, like down the hall.
That's weird that it would look like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a strange. We better take a look at this microphone.
Let's try and pad this out for another 7 minutes.
Yeah, this is where the listeners are really going to be rewarded, because here's where we start mining the real good conversation pay dirt.
If you've stuck around this long, you've experienced something that I think no one else will ever experience.
Yeah.
In terms of like declining podcast quality, because really it doesn't get any different than this. This is pretty much it.
Yeah, things don't get better, which I think is the motto of the Shermack family crest.
Things don't get better?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Too self-deprecating? I did deprecate, I guess, a dozen other people in that.
I think that's the motto of the Shermack family crest, if only you and I were Shermacks.
That's true. There are some Shermacks who have a lot more.
I think most of the Shermacks are fairly optimistic, friendly folk.
They are very friendly folk. That's true. I think it's just me who's unfriendly.
Do you ever think about what the best way to end a podcast is?
I think it is to just kind of walk away.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of to slowly fade away as though, you're being sucked into some kind of wormhole and, like, you're just going to disappear forever and then the podcast will end.
See, that would have been a good place to end it.